CMOs, I forget the tenure now. It's like every 2 years, 18 months.
Mhm.
It's the CMO, like it's like a revolving door. And one possibility is that companies are expecting CMOs to deliver results really quickly. Um, and do you believe that's true? And when a CMO is challenged to, hey, we want, a direct response type results. We want to drive, top line revenue, quarter over quarter. How do you kind of shift? How should CMOs think about explaining or sharing with their board and the rest of the C-suite that there's a longer term play here and that relationship with customers is actually what's more valuable? Is it a balance? Like, what could you riff on that for us a little
Yeah.
bit?
So I think that, the first piece is that you have to have partnership from the entire go-to-market organization because selling is a team sport. And when you're in a marketing role in a B2B company, you're effectively, the front of house for the sales team, right? And you need to have trusts and open lines of communication with all of those stakeholders, whether it's the outbounding team, product marketing, product itself, even, and make sure that you are all aligned on what the goals are. We have a really clear mandate on our team. We're gold on pipeline and opportunities, and obviously sort of calls booked, so MQLs, and make sure that there's a scorecard that everybody believes and has that kind of like trust in, that no one's trying to throw anybody under the bus, make anybody look bad, that you're just tracking the metrics so that you can make sure you're understanding your contribution to the business and you're all working towards the same goals. Then I think the next piece is having the opportunity to tell bigger stories. Like I mentioned, we've had a lot of clients take us with them from multiple jobs. So putting some data behind that and then saying, where's the opportunity here to really double down on this? And can we, prove that there's some delta in performance if we really invest in these clients and in them personally? Because, I'm always of the opinion that companies don't buy software, people do. And that has been, again, really successful approach overall for us.
I've got a fun question related to that
Yeah.
kind of idea that we sell to people.
Hmm.
I know you're really big on having thoughts about building direct human
Yeah.
relationships and thinking long term versus that like direct response kind of angle that Daryl kind of teased out with like maybe why the CMO tenure is a little short. In 2020, your team launched Ink Tank,
Mm,
a podcast, a video podcast series for
yeah.
marketers. And you mentioned that it was super gratifying, but ultimately, after 21 episodes, the call was to shut it down because you couldn't assign or associate pipeline with it. I feel like that decision might go a little bit against like some of your thoughts on building human relationships,
Yeah.
thinking more long term
Mhm.
versus just direct response. Like, do you think that after just 21 episodes, it was a bit premature to say
Yeah.
that like none of that is going to lead to pipeline at some day?
Sure.
Just curious your thoughts there.
And I think that notionally we all believed it was a great thing to do, and it was certainly, like you mentioned, it was gratifying, it was fun, it was so wonderful to celebrate the careers and the stories of these marketers. But, you sort of have to look at that unit of effort that you have within your team, and 2021 versus now was a little bit of a different ballgame in terms of the technology that's available
Mm.
and how quickly and easily we could get these to market and probably assign some sort of tracking measurement to it, whether with a code or something. But we felt like we could have similar outcomes with other types of video content. And we have since really had an explosion in our testimonial motion. And that has been another great forum for us to tell those stories in a shorter format that is viewed by exponentially more people, many of whom we can track. We also do something that we call like hero videos, where we go on site and we film them in their headquarters. We often incorporate B-roll into that. And these are the types of videos that then get played internally at their town halls, their global town halls, right? Because it's telling usually the story of a tech transformation and a huge company milestone, something that everybody is really excited about. So video as a medium is very impactful in our selling motion. whether a video podcast where we were filming these sort of long form and doing tremendous amount of research. You guys know this is not something you can do in the margins. It just took a lot more work than we felt we had the capacity to manage. It's absolutely something we might revisit again in the future. But for now, video continues to be like the thing that we learned from that. And I'm so glad we have such a great in-house video team. I'm so grateful. It's led by Lindy Gerber. And we continue to kind of outdo ourselves. We've got some great ones coming up at Think Summit Europe. So stay tuned. They'll be online soon.
Awesome. I really appreciate your answer. I feel like most teams, mostly corporate teams that are just like, you know what, everyone's launching a podcast. We're just going to launch a podcast. Let's do it. Like, if they can do it, we can do it. A couple episodes in, they're just like, this is like a couple of people's full-time jobs.
It's a whole separate business. And again, I think that we just were not assured that we were getting the right eyeballs on it almost to merit the level of the content we were producing. We had some incredible guests, and I'm still so proud of that work, but we continue to showcase these people just in a different channel.
And there's also like a long tail to like these investments, right? And like I like the customer and testimonial pivot there because those live on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube has a wild, crazy algorithm and it changes all the time. And I'm in analytics on our show all the time. And I just like recently saw that one of the episodes that we did like a couple months ago with Trey.ai just blew up. It got caught in the algorithm, or a couple people watched it to the full length and started showing up.
Funny.
And like there's more views on that video now 2 months after it was like published than like the first 2 months. And in most of the videos you kind of see like a spike at first and then kind of nothing after.
Do you know why it took off?
I started playing around with like some of the titles and some of the thumbnails on some of it, but honestly, like I think it was shared in a LinkedIn conversation and comment. A couple people watched it long enough that YouTube was just like, hey, we're gonna surface this up to a couple more people.
Wow.
Those people watched it, and I'm not a YouTube expert. I'm still learning every day, but like when I get those questions from people, it's just like, hey, like we're thinking of starting a corporate podcast, and it's gonna be like the Movable Ink podcast, and it's like, all right. Like if you're gonna do that decision, like there's such a time commitment there, because even though you're a brand and you have like a presence and maybe like some of the people in the company have a following on LinkedIn, whatever, it's like a brand new content. You're like screaming into the void for so long at first. And I think of our show, like if we had given up 21 episodes in and now like it took us 5 years to get to like, we're hovering on 20K monthly listeners, but like, man, it was a journey getting there. It's a long tail effort.
I totally agree. And it's just something that you cannot go into kind of frivolously, because we have a really strong connection to our users. They love our content. And I think they trust us. And if we were to start something and abandon it, that trust would sort of be fractured a little bit. And, whatever it is, like our next research report or, roundtable event that we're inviting them to, I think that they would think we were kind of not as committed to and serious about the work that we're doing, which we are very, very committed to. And a lot of that comes from the core of our strategy team, and that they are working, first of all, they're former clients. And then they're working day in, day out with our clients, and they're constantly surfacing their insights with the team so that we're able to synthesize them and transform them into deliverables. And content is the kernel of everything that we do, whether it's display advertising or an in-person event, a hospitality event. We do have a field marketing program that's just straight up hospitality events. We're going to get a box at a game or something, or go to a concert or something fun like that. But I'd say like 95% of our events and our go-to-market effort is much more meaningful than that. And we're bringing people real hard-won insights that come directly from the front lines recently. They're credible. And then we're also going to put you in a format where you're going to be able to talk about this with your peers. And that is what people know Movable Ink for, and it's done great things for us overall.